Hello, welcome back to our final video in our three-part series on Intro to Policy Debate Basics. In this video, we will just be going over all the general knowledge you should know before deciding if you want to do policy debate. To start off, what makes policy unique? Policy is a resolution-centered debate. I know you may be thinking many other debates are centered around their resolution, but policy centers around a single resolution for an entire year, which you may be thinking, that's gonna get really boring really quick. But trust me, it won't, because you will always be making new plans, finding new evidence, and cutting new cards that will make policy really fun. And remember, you can always change up your plan. There's no need to stick with one plan for the entire year. But policy is also a very research-extensive debate event, because you have to make your own plan. Policy has to find evidence for solvency, inherency, and significance and harm, which we'll go in on a later series. But that just says that they have to find why we need the topic, authors to support it, and a lot more information. They also have to fill up an 8-minute speech time, which can be very difficult if you don't have a lot of evidence and a lot of research to back it up. And policy is also a two-person debate event, which there are a lot of debates that are two-person, but there are some that are also single-person. If you want to do a two-person debate event, policy may be the debate event for you. And policy also has longer rounds, which I find more fun, but some people don't like it as much, and they might opt out for PF or LD, which are shorter and have less speaking time. But now you may be asking yourself, why should I do policy? Firstly, policy topics are voted on by students and coaches, so you will always have a say in what you will be debating for an entire year. And because of that, policy is usually about real-world pressing issues. For example, this year's topic is about fiscal well-being and its citizens, and fiscal redistribution, and how we use it to affect our citizens, which is very relevant right now because of the recession we may be going into, even though the US does not admit it. There's a lot of evidence saying that we are going to a recession, and therefore this topic was chosen. Here's the resolution that we have this year. The United States federal government should substantially increase its fiscal redistribution in the United States by adopting a federal jobs guarantee, expanding social security, and/or providing basic income. Now look at this and find the key parts like we did in our first video. I'll give you 3 seconds. Pause the video if you need to. Well, these are the important parts that you are going to be debating. Fiscal redistribution, federal jobs guarantee, expanding social security, and basic income. The United States is also very important, but I feel like that's kind of obvious that you're going to be debating as the United States federal government. Now, as I said before, policy, you need a lot of in-depth research, because you are going to make your own plan, and unlike many other debate events, you are not going to say yes or no to the resolution. Cough, cough, LDBQPF. You have to find authors to support your plan, which is also very research intensive, because it can take hours to find the right article that supports your plan, which you may be thinking that's very scary and I don't want to spend that much time, but it's something you need to do to build the strongest case possible. And finally, the power of evidence. Why should you find good evidence? Evidence is the building block of your case, and you must always have evidence before making a case. For example, you don't want to make evidence on a case like hamburgers are good for you if you don't have any evidence. And evidence goes both ways. Both the AF and the neg should have evidence. So no matter what side you are on, you should have evidence. And both sides should have pre-prepared evidence beforehand, so you don't have to research during the round. And remember, this may be obvious if you do other debate events, but you cannot change your evidence or change the meaning of it, like adding an extra word or adding a sentence into it, because you could get disqualified. And you usually have to send your evidence to your opponent if they ask for it, because in policy it is a common courtesy to send evidence to your opponent before a round, because cases can be so long and overwhelming that they may have to see it. Well, this is the end of this series, and I hope you continue policy, and to see you next time. This has been a very fun journey, and I hope to see you in the next series I make. Thank you. Bye.